What's going on, guys? Jim the Game Guru, your video game and board game nerd. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. So a couple days ago, I picked up In Rays of the Light on the Nintendo Switch. It looked really cool. It was cheap. And I love it when I see games on the eShop that are super cheap, because sometimes they end up becoming like these hidden gems. So I don't know if I've seen this game before. I feel like I've seen it on a different platform or something before. So I ended up picking it up, and it turned out that a lot of the gameplay footage that I was recording for it just would not have gone well if I ended up releasing the footage on a video, because the whole game is puzzle based. And it's just me going around and looking for the clues and solving the puzzles. So I figured, I just sum it up in a quick 5-minute video. So I can't tell if it's like a big production studio that made it. Probably not. It looks like it's probably like an indie developed game that is probably, and in the description of the game, they actually give you like the name of like a developer, and the name of like the person that kind of creates the music and stuff for it. So kudos to them. If this is a one-man programmer, a one-man developer that's actually building this game, kudos to him for building this game, because video games obviously are really hard to build, and kudos to the one person doing the music. So this game is about being in a building where you have to kind of go through this building and unlock things and find answers to clues and find your way through and escaping. I'm assuming it's escaping. I haven't beaten the game yet. But there's a lot of references to when you're in this building, there's a lot of references to nuclear stuff and explosions. It kind of makes me think of like Chernobyl, like you're being in a town near Chernobyl when the bomb goes off, when the nuclear reactor kind of explodes. And I thought there was going to be more to it. I thought there was going to be a little bit, maybe you'd find people or something or enemies or whatever, but yeah, it's all about exploring this building and trying to find clues and trying to solve all these puzzles. And you literally, there's an outside compound, and then there's the building, and that's the only places you can go. It's kind of like a very difficult puzzle game mixed with like escape room stuff, but instead of being in a tiny escape room, the building and the surrounding compound area is like your escape room, and you're trying to get out. But yeah, there's definitely references to nuclear stuff in there. There's not a whole lot about your character or whatever. It's a little silly, because when you start off the game, it's just you in this building, nothing really, and then like all these doors are all locked. I'm sorry, but if people were having a nuclear disaster, they're not going to sit there and go, hey, let's lock all of these doors. The puzzles are pretty challenging, actually, and the thing that's very difficult is that when you're picking up items to solve puzzles, you can't really look at the items to know, if you pick up several keys, for example, you can't tell what those keys are for. But yeah, I went through and I found like a map, and I explored the entire building, and I answered the puzzle to one of this picture puzzle, and it ended up opening a wardrobe for the picture puzzle to end up getting something else. Now, when you solve a puzzle, it's not very rewarding. It's kind of like, oh, hey, you're greeted with another puzzle. Surprise! I think the environment is good. There's no really anti-aliasing in the game. You can tell because of the jagged lines, but that's fine. I actually appreciate games that don't have the anti-aliasing and a little bit of jaggedness, because I'm used to a lot of the old style computer games and console games. But yeah, it's not a hidden gem, but it's not a bad game either. It's a game that if you are a huge into puzzles and you love hard puzzles, and you want to explore this little area with the puzzles, or if you're like an escape room masochist, this game is probably for you. You have to be that gamer for this game to fit you just right. If you're into like fighting enemies, guns, a lot more to the game, like more story, more land areas to cover, You're definitely, I would stay away from this game. It is cheap. It's really, it's like $8. But if you want a puzzle game that's difficult and you get a little bit of that kind of escape room feeling, then this is probably a good game for you. But yeah, that's it. That's In Rays of the Light. So that's it, guys. I will see you later. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.